Heat checker.
Cunningham.
Get her the ball. Get her the ball. One more time. Cross. A logo
Another
again.
long two.
Oh, no!
She's back.
Oh my
Most
God!
dynamic
This isn't real.
player in the game.
What?
9 points in 38 seconds for
No.
Caitlin. She hit all 3 threes.
And not only 9
What
and
is
30,
going
but look
on?
at the depth
I
on
don't know.
these field
I'm
goal
really-
attempts. She's
This
certainly
is-
feeling
Oh
it.
my
Left
God.
side,
I'm
right
speechless.
side.
No.
Now come back to your favorite spot
Oh.
again. It doesn't
Oh.
matter if there's a hand.
What
in
am
her
I
face.
watching?
The defending champions were undefeated. No one had figured out how to crack their code. The New York Liberty looked unstoppable, blowing past teams like they didn't even exist. Then on June 14th, Caitlin Clark returned from injury. What happened? Next wasn't just a win, was a demolition. 8 records broken in a single night. The Liberty's perfect season destroyed their confidence. Shattered, but here's what no one expected. The Fever didn't just win. They used that game to craft a blueprint for championship basketball. If you're hyped for Caitlin's return, drop CC #recordbreaker in the comments below. Let's go.
Caitlin pulls left wing, the right wing, 30+ feet. Logo crosses over, watch it. Oh my goodness! She is back.
Back in the lineup, I'm ready to go.
I think you're just excited more than anything. It gets kind of difficult when you prepare for a game. Obviously, when I'm on the bench, still knowing the scout, knowing everything that the other team's going to do, and still trying to mentally prepare and go through everything like I'm going to play, even though I knew I wasn't going to play. So, doing that, but also knowing I was going to be able to be active today, I think gives you a little extra juice. So I'm certainly excited just to get back out there, get playing, and really good opportunity for us at home here, coming off of a loss. So it's a big game.
Picture this. The defending champions are steamrolling every team, like they're playing against high schoolers. The New York Liberty entered June with a flawless 9-0 record, the only undefeated team left in the WNBA. Every game was a statement. Every win made them look even more unstoppable. The Liberty weren't just winning, they were dominating. Using a suffocating defense that no one could solve, teams walked into the arena thinking they had a shot. 2 hours later, they left the court confused, exhausted, and broken. The Liberty's defense was like a brick wall, and with every game, it just kept getting taller.
We played the Liberty. There was obviously a frustrating ending. What lessons can you take from that experience, and how can that be applied to this, even though I know obviously Liberty look a little different with 2 starters out?
Yeah, I think certainly you take time and score situations, different versions of handling runs, offensively, defensively. Margin for error is small against a team like New York, and every play matters. Every time we send them to the free throw line matters. Every rebound matters. We can't afford to have empty possessions on the offensive end of the floor. You got to play your A game.
Every team that faced them came in confident and left completely demoralized. Coaches spent hours drawing up plays, players studied film until their eyes burned. Nothing worked. The Liberty had an answer for everything. Their pick-and-roll offense was surgical, their defense relentless, and their confidence was through the roof. Sabrina Ionescu, Jonquil Jones, and Breena Stewart were playing basketball at a level that made other All-Stars look ordinary. These 3 weren't just having great seasons, they were dominating in ways that made you question whether anyone could compete. Stewart could score from anywhere. On the court, Ionescu hit impossible shots and made passes that defied logic. Jones locked down the paint and made other centers look like kids trying to play grown-up ball.
So I think we continue to learn lessons from the first time we played them and from our last game against Atlanta. Every single day that we move forward. I think they're a different team. Certainly, we're going to be a different team having C and Sophie back on the floor. We're going to tip the ball up and go out, and we're going to give it everything that we have.
The numbers told the whole story. The Liberty weren't just winning, they were dominating with blowout victories and making star players look ordinary. Their margin of victory wasn't just impressive, it was terrifying. Top-ranked teams would come in full of hope and leave with a 20-point loss. Even the best players in the WNBA looked like they were playing a different sport. When they faced New York, basketball analysts began to ask the question out loud: can anyone actually challenge them this season? Sports Shows debated how long the streak could last. Writers were already drafting legacy articles. The conversation wasn't about who could beat them, it was about whether anyone even stood a chance.
Welcome to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA. The defending champion and unbeaten New York Liberty coming to town for the second time this year as we get ready for this game. And yes, she is back. Caitlin Clark will indeed be playing today. Missed the last 5 games with a strained quad, taking on the Liberty off to their best start ever. Sabrina Ionescu and company in this big Commissioner's Cup game as well. And as usual, all the seats are filled here.
Then the Fever got their chance, but they needed something special to happen. Indiana was coming off injuries and recent lineup changes. They didn't look like a championship team, not yet. Most people expected another Liberty blowout, just another name on the list. But there was one thing New York never saw coming: the return of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, we have an opportunity in front of us right now. I feel like this is like we're starting a new season. You guys, I'm so proud of how resilient we've been up until this point. We're going to continue to have to be. But right now, we have an opportunity to continue to take a step forward. Okay, this can be a springboard for us, right? We're marrying energy and effort with execution. Every single possession matters. Hit singles. Hit singles. Make the easy play. All right? Make one another better. Okay? It's our time. It's our time. Here we go. Together, 3, 1, 2, 3. Together.
Let's talk about the moment that changed everything. 38 seconds that rewrote WNBA history. Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and instantly you could feel that something in the air had shifted. She wasn't just back from her quad injury, she was back with a statement, one that would echo across the entire league.
And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from 2 players with incredible up. Ball from Cunningham. Clark, another long 3. She's back!
The Liberty defense was ready for her. They had studied every move, every tendency. They knew Caitlin Clark would come out firing. They had watched hours of film, her deep threes, her impossible range. They thought they were prepared. They weren't even close. Then Clark did something nobody saw coming. 3 consecutive three-pointers each from distances that made defenders look helpless. The first, 34 feet out. Most players wouldn't even consider taking that. Shot. Clark pulled up like it was a free throw. Nothing but net. The second, 31 feet, same effortless release, same result. The third, again from 31 feet. By then, the Liberty defenders weren't contesting. They were watching in stunned silence.
Rebound, Fever. Cunningham got knocked to the floor. Caitlin pulls left wing, buries it. She is back. 24-18, Fever down. Caitlin now from the right wing, 30-plus feet. Good again. No one else but Caitlin Clark. Sedantis, handoff. Caitlin from the logo, crosses over, launches. Oh my goodness! Are you kidding?
The most dynamic player in the game. 9 points in 38 seconds for Caitlin. She hit all 3 threes.
And not only 9 and 30, but look at the depth on these field goal attempts. She's certainly feeling it.
The crowd at Gainbridge Fieldhouse went absolutely insane as each shot swished through the net. Fans were leaping out of their seats. The noise level was deafening. You could feel the energy building with every shot Caitlin Clark hit. The arena wasn't just loud, it was shaking with excitement. 9 points in 38 seconds. That's not just fast scoring, that's redefining what's possible in professional basketball. Think about it. Most players are thrilled to score 9 points in an entire quarter. Clark did it in under a minute. And in doing so, she became the first player in WNBA history to achieve that exact feat.
Cunningham is
Caitlin
down
from the
behind
logo.
play.
Oh my God!
But they've got Caitlin Clark to fire away from 3. And Cunningham just now getting up as she stayed down near the free throw line on the other end.
Oh! Okay, why did
Oh my
he take that?
gosh.
An ankle
Oh
injury,
my
and then
god,
Johannes
and of
very
course Marine
coolly,
Johannes
two
countered
players
not for the
Green.
logo. But this is why I
Caitlin
love
for the
an
logo
NBA.
again! We got a shootout! We got a shootout!
Oh my
Again!
god! No, no, no!
Even Breena Stewart couldn't help but smile, because what she was witnessing was pure basketball artistry. Stewart, one of the best players in the world, has seen it all. She's faced the greatest, played on the biggest stages, and experienced everything the game can offer. But even she had to pause and appreciate what Caitlin Clark was doing out there. This wasn't just a hot streak. This was basketball at its highest level. The Liberty called a timeout, but it was already too late. Clark had already broken their mental game. You could see it in their body language. The confidence they'd built over 9 straight wins was starting to crack. They had come into this game expecting another easy victory instead. They were watching Caitlin Clark rewrite the record books in real time. This wasn't luck. This wasn't a hot streak. This was a superstar, announcing her return in the most dominant way imaginable. The Liberty held an 11-point lead early in the first quarter, but after Clark's 38-second explosion, the game was tied at 2-4. She had single-handedly erased their entire advantage and completely shifted the momentum. And here's where it gets truly incredible. Clark didn't just have a good game. By halftime, she had already scored 25 points, most she'd ever put up in a single half. This wasn't just a night of hot shooting. This was Caitlin Clark declaring loud and clear that her 5-game absence due to a quad injury was officially over.
Get it inside to Mitchell. Those two have such a great connection.
Rebound, battled for. Clark comes away with it. Caitlin, outlet to Aaliyah, in stride, right post, then she fakes it in. It's a dime from CC to AB. And that does it for a scintillating first 20 minutes at Cambridge Fieldhouse. It's the Fever 53 and the Liberty 50.
But the records were just getting started. With each passing quarter, Caitlin Clark kept hitting new milestones. She knocked down 7 3-pointers in the Gamma career, leaving Liberty defenders scrambling, searching for answers. Every time they thought they had her figured out, she'd pull up from yet another impossible distance and drain it. The Liberty coaching staff kept calling timeouts, desperately trying to cool her down. Nothing worked.
I don't know if you guys have seen or heard, but Caitlin Clark is in fact back. Caitlin Clark!
And steps back with the 3 over Breena Stewart.
Then came the moment that elevated her above WNBA legend Candace Parker. Caitlin Clark finished the night with 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. It marked her 3rd career game with at least 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Candace Parker, 2-time MVP and 7-time All-Star, had just 2 such games in her first 2 seasons. Clark had just surpassed one of the greatest to ever play the game, and she wasn't done breaking records. Became the 4th fastest player in WNBA history to reach 850 career points, achieving it in just 45 games. Only 3 players got there faster: Cynthia Cooper-Dyke in 38 games, Augustus in 39 games, Diana Taurasi in 44 games. That's the company. Clark now keeps the absolute elite scorers in league history. The combination of 30 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, and 7 three-pointers made Caitlin Clark the only player in WNBA history to ever record that exact stat line. No one, not Sue Bird, not Diana Taurasi, not Maya Moore has ever posted those numbers in a single game. Nobody, Clark became the first to ever reach that statistical combination. And she didn't stop there. She also moved into second place, outdone for the most games with 50-plus points, scored or assisted on with 9 such games accomplished in just 45 career games. For comparison, Diana Taurasi, who leads this category, has 10 games, but it took her 565 games to reach that mark. Clark is closing in on the record at a pace that's simply unprecedented. She's on track to surpass Taurasi before the end of this season.
The New York Liberty came out and threw the first punch in this quarter. For the Liberty to make this a single-digit game has been impressive here.
I think the way we responded when they went on that run in the third quarter, like we had to figure out how to play through it and go on a run of our own. And in the past, like that's kind of where we would crumble. That's exactly where we crumbled. But today we really stuck together. We went on our own run.
Mitchell trying to blow by. Everybody does and gets the foul.
Bounce pass, right wing hole, wide open three. Of course! Clark to hole, open lane, and she scores off the glass.
Caitlin challenged Sabally and won it.
Clark now holds the record for the most 30-point, 5-rebound, 5-assist games in a player's first WNBA season, surpassing Candace Parker. This wasn't just a great performance against the defending champions. This was Caitlin Clark cementing her place among the all-time greats at record speed. She's not just playing at a high level, she's rewriting what's possible for a young player in this league. But here's what made this win truly special. It wasn't just the Caitlin Clark show. While she was breaking records, her teammates were delivering career-defining performances of their own. The big question coming into this matchup was whether the Fever supporting cast could match Clark's energy and execution. And they answered that question in the most perfect way possible.
Clark nails it. A 17-0 run.
Caitlin Clark now with 7 threes on the afternoon.
I thought Sid was fantastic today. She makes 2 huge threes for us in the second half. Soph was fantastic.
Final score, Fever 102, Liberty 88. And Caitlin Clark's return. Indiana fans, elated and amazed. The Fever are the first team to defeat the Liberty in 2025.
Lexi Hull stepped up with career highs across the board: points, rebounds, assists, steals, and shooting percentages. Hull has been quietly putting together the best season of her career, and now the league is taking notice. She currently leads the entire WNBA in three-point percentage, all while setting personal bests in every major statistical category. Her sharp shooting from beyond the arc doesn't just add points, it creates space for Caitlin Clark and opens up the entire offense. And when Hull catches fire from deep, the Fever become nearly impossible to guard. Aaliyah Boston has redefined what it means to be a modern center. She's the only center in the league, averaging 4.1 assists per game. Showcasing a level of playmaking rarely seen at her position, Boston isn't just a traditional big who dominates. In the paint, she can pass like a point guard. She reads the floor with vision and anticipation. Seeing plays develop before they happen, her ability to facilitate from the center position gives the Fever a unique offensive dynamic, one that sets them apart from every other team in the league.
Found Boston perfectly. Boston being very physical with Sabally. Count it. Fake left, drive right, make it all look so easy. Blocked by Boston.
Go, 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 go!
Kelsey Mitchell added 22 crucial points. delivering clutch shots that stopped the Liberty from mounting any serious comeback. When New York tried to make a push in the fourth quarter, Mitchell responded every time, knocking down a timely three or slicing through the defense for a driving layup. Her ability to score under pressure was pivotal, providing a stabilizing force and taking the weight off Clark's shoulders, with Mitchell firing on all cylinders. The Fever didn't just rely on one star, they became a team with multiple offensive weapons, each capable of taking over when it mattered most.
It is shocking to see Kennedy Burke miss 1 3 this season. She's leading the league at over 60%, but to see her miss a couple. Count it!
As Mitchell celebrates from the floor.
Mitchell is simply such a great cutter, and this time going again from the right side to the middle of the floor. Colson head up, finds her, drops the pass. What a tough finish as well.
Sydney Colson delivered crucial support off the bench, adding 10 points and 6 assists. In key stretches of the game, she entered during critical moments and never looked out of place. Her steady, composed play helped sustain the team's momentum. When the starters needed a breather, Colson's contributions were more than just stats. They were a reminder of just how deep and balanced this Fever roster truly is. In a game where stars shined bright, Colson's presence proved that championship. Teams are built on more than just starting fives.
Colson playing point with Caitlin now on the bench. Backdoor feed. Mitchell, score it, and one!
The ball movement was crisp, the defense was suffocating, and every player understood their role to perfection. The Fever forced the Liberty to play at their pace, throwing New York off rhythm with smart, calculated defensive adjustments. They disrupted the Liberty's signature pick Dandrel sets and neutralized the mismatches New York typically thrives on. This was more than just a win. It was a blueprint for championship basketball. Stars playing like stars. While role players rise to the moment, head coach Stephanie White emphasized the team's resilience, saying, "This group, they stay together. They encourage one another. They draw strength from one another." That team-first mentality created a winning formula. And it was on full display from the opening tip. When the Fever fire on all cylinders like this, they don't just look like a good team, they look like a championship contender. The chemistry was undeniable. The execution was flawless, and the confidence was sky high.
Fever dub!
Good job.
Oh, that we get.
Good job. Squad needed it. Played Fever way. I love it. More of them.
This wasn't just a win, this was the Indiana Fever, sending a message to the entire WNBA. They figured out the championship formula. Caitlin Clark, breaking 8 records, while her teammates delivered career-high performances, created something undeniably special. The Liberty's perfect season is over. But more importantly, the Fever just proved they can beat anyone when they play their brand of basketball. With Clark rewriting the record books and her teammates reaching new heights, the 2025 season just got a whole lot more interesting. The Fever now sit at 5-5, and they've climbed to first place in the Eastern Conference standings for the Commissioner's Cup. When this team is locked in and firing on all cylinders, they're not just exciting, they're legitimate championship contenders. If you're hyped for Caitlin Clark's return, comment CC #recordbreaker down below, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a moment. Click the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.